Alrighty.
Well, yeah.
We're in it.
Anyway, yeah, we are in it. But who is not in it is... Oh, well, he is in it, yeah. Gandhi. I'm just going to call him Gandhi.
Oh, it's a 4v1 and a 1v4.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, shit, they are playing cat and mouse. Oh, and... What the... Wait, whoa. Okay. I have no idea why Danfy split off or what the hell's going on in this knife round. I mean... Moogie got a kill.
This is so confusing.
Oh, Mr. Beef is about to get flanked and he doesn't even realize it. He got the kill before he died.
That was literally just a 3v3 with the one guy.
This dude is running for his life.
Someone's gotta start hitting B-hops.
Yeah, he's... Oh, he did. He hit one.
There it is.
It worked. Oh, he's splitting off again. Oh, he finally ran into his team. But his teammate just ran straight in. Oh, no. Oh, everyone's missing. This is...
Oh boy.
Oh no!
There it is. Knife round to ramp and clamp.
Ramp and clamp. I'm gonna ramp and clamp.
Don't say that in my eardrums again.
Was it not
that was a cute little flick. It was, that's my problem.
Oh, well. Oh shit, I don't know how to respond to that. I got nothing witty to say. So, on to commentary.
Get wrecked.
This is the match between EgoPeek and Ramp and Clamp. We are getting into the pistol round, and one set of utility on the Ramp and Clamp side, and one set of utility on the EgoPeek side. And EgoPeek 5-man mid push. I mean, they're not going to really run into anything because Ramp and Clamp is doing a 5-man B push.
This is gonna be awkward.
This is gonna be awkward because EgoPeek went to A, and there's no one anywhere near. So, Ramp and Clamp gets a free bomb plant. The issue I see here is
the train's rolling.
They are rushing in. The steam roll of pain. EgoPeek doesn't have a kit though, so I think that this is gonna be painful for them, especially with Moogie finding the opening kill. Mr. Beef immediately retorts, but quickly in a 2-on-4, and well, that round played out for itself. Yeah,
that wasn't even a bad strat. It was just like literally they went from mid to A, and they went all B.
Yep. There was very little to commentate that round. The round sort of played out for itself right there, and well, we're into the second round. Let's hope this goes a little bit better for the EgoPeek side. What is that smoke? Does it actually accomplish anything? Oh, it does. Wow. And Matson sees everyone, and they immediately haul ass the other direction. They do not want anything to do with this, even though there's 4 USPs that are just feeding this MAC-10. He wants more.
There we go.
Yep.
It's up to Beef and Running. Both of the only USP has no armor.
Yep, they do run into Gandhi, but he is not very peaceful anymore. I guess after like 50 years, he doesn't seem to want to do that shit.
Flawless round from Ramp and Clamp round.
Yep. When did Gandhi die?
That's a question that I answer. I don't know.
I don't know either. But EgoPeek does get a buy here. They get 3 FAMASas and 2 M4s. Decent amount of utility as well, and a single kit. They're going to need to try and figure out where that kit is, as Running Free gets very quickly pushed, but the flashbang does nothing, and Matson is taken down very quickly. Running Free's position is known because he reloads behind the wall, but Moogie, I'm not sure what his plan was there. He just ran straight through a smoke, knowing there was a player on the other side watching it, and Running Free's not really going to miss that. That was just handed to him. Free room service. And he wants to stick around and continue fighting. And Gandhi does not want to go on living. He throws a nade at his own feet, but he backs off, and it was actually just a bait. It was calculated to draw in Running Free.
Intentional.
Oh, yes. Hugs and Slugs is going to have the fight of his life here on the B site. He's immediately going to back off. It seems as though he doesn't really want to... Oh! 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 Never mind.
Makes me want to vomit.
That does,
What
but at
a
the same
shot.
time, that was a beautiful shot. Carbine is going to push through the smoke, and here's the issue that we were talking about earlier. I understand that you want to take and give map control, but there was only one player on the EgoPeek side. He went down immediately, and control of B site was instantly given to Ramp and Clamp. And Mr. Beef and Brock here, they're in a 2-on-3 retake. They did pick up the kit from running free down mid, but this is a tall task. Mr. Beef does find one kill onto the car position, but Gandhi sees the other player in Brock, who's unsure of what to do. It's gonna fall off, and it seems as though the third round is gonna go in favor of Ramp and Clamp. Not sure if they're gonna want to fight this player, but no, seems that everyone's just gonna try and back off and save what weapons they do have.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that B site anchor went down with one bullet immediately to the head, a crisp headshot, and site went down just like that.
True. Looks like they are buying, except for Hugs and Slugs, just a nade and a... Actually, that's it. Just a nade.
Whoa!
Oh!
That was
Lord.
a dirty shot. A nade can actually do a lot of damage right here. Oh, unfortunately, he did not connect with the players. Running free did, though. I'm surprised that nade from Hugs and Slugs didn't do anything. It looked like it was going to be good, but what else is good is the side of EgoPeek. They are in a 5-on-4. They do not have a kit, but they do have the advantage in players, and Damphy is on 18 HP. They're going to boost up and see no one at this car position, so they know that that area is roughly clear. And they do spot the player under the window position. Hugs and Slugs is going to go down, but that was just the pistol player. Brock is going to fight with Moogie, who takes substantial damage, but this is getting really rough for the EgoPeek side. Beef finds one, and Moogie was tagged down hard. Eventually does live, as does Gandhi, who gets the final kill. Gandhi is 8-0-0. He is showing some real prowess off start.
It's EgoPeek's not really breaking that B hold right now. Ramp and Clamp also locking it down. They are very, very good. They're all watching separate angles. It's very clean. Unlike that op shot was a little bit dirty, but
yeah, they
gotta
know
love when a smoke doesn't defuse all the molly.
Yeah, they know that there's an opper here mid, but he gets blinded. He's gonna take a couple of pop shots, but oh, he's gonna go down to 6 HP. I thought that nade was going to find the kill, but it did not. Running free is still alive, and he is on the perfect weapon for having 6 HP. He has an op, so he knows that they can be up cat, so the players on A site are watching this position, and they're going to eventually smoke it off, but not before Brock peeks, before the smoke blooms and takes 70 damage because of it. Hugs and Mookie accidentally drops his gun instead of the bomb. Look at the damage on EgoPeek. Brock at 35, Hugs and Slugs at 16, and running free at 6. This is
not
bad.
looking super winnable.
No, it's not.
Still always a chance, though.
There is. They molly out this goose position, but there is no one there. Chias spots a player through the smoke. That's Mr. Beef. That was one of the only healthy players remaining. The other healthy player in Carbine goes down as well, and the two remaining EgoPeek players have a combined 22 HP. I think that they should run away as far away as possible and as fast as possible.
The coordination on the part of Ramp and Clamp is crazy. They are locked in all together.
They really are. They are taking map pressure instantly. Their nades are letting them immediately peek the positions that they want and freely. The mid position was not able to be fought against running free, who had the op because of their nades, and an HE almost followed it up for the final kill onto him. He's down to 6 HP, and they're
paying attention.
They're sending 3 players towards this position, and that's
had so much time to hunt.
Yeah, that was systematic elimination of the rest of the map. They knew exactly where they had to be. They sort of cleared out every other angle, and unfortunately the op on running free went down. He found 1 kill, but not nearly enough. He took substantial damage through smoke and wasn't really able to get involved into that round.
Oh, looks like they're doing a cat boost.
Yeah, I actually do like this. The only issue is the only player towards mid is actually holding back for this push. He expected it. Gandhi sees exactly what's going on. He's got a third eye, but Mugi, well,
Always better to cover the back.
Yep.
Something I do really like on Ramp and Clamp is that they're very knowledgeable on what EgoPeek seems to be doing, and they're very good at watching each other's back. There's never one person holding an angle alone, it seems.
True. I mean, every time that you see one Ramp and Clamp player, it seems as though the rest of the team is not far behind, and not sure what Mr. Beef was doing right there, unfortunately. I think he expected there to be a little bit more timing before he went down and before he was peaked. Hugs and Slugs does find a player, but it's not really going to do much as the economy of Ramp and Clamp is looking really good. Gandhi is on $16,000, so finding one kill doesn't really do much for the EgoPeek side.
Yeah, I feel like EgoPeek's playing very aggressive, and they've been playing the super aggressive kind of playstyle. They haven't been playing back. They may need to switch it up, but again, maybe they just need to break it and get the momentum. Maybe 3 ops will do that.
Maybe. I'm hoping it does, and there's going to be a fight here. Running free finds Chias, and that was a very clean shot. Carbine also with a clean shot. And as we talked about, the ops really need to do something. Running free, 1 pixel away. This time he doesn't miss. You don't give them the same position twice. Gandhi is dinked down, and Mr. Beef is going to be naded. Not. He's not.
Saved by the corner.
Oof. Running free is looking towards this position. Gandhi sneaks right by, and he's going to be peaked. He double scoped in on barrels, and Mugi finds him for that mistake, but Hugs and Slugs finds Mugi unaware of his position. I mean, why would the B anchor be pushing mid like that? It's very unexpected, but I guess that's why it worked.
Oh, and he does sneak by to mid.
Yeah, this is unexpected for both parties. I mean, no one knows where anyone is. Gandhi is going to eventually see Carbine. They spot each other, but Gandhi finds Carbine, and looks like he's going to be able to get bombed down on this site. I mean, not that money is a real issue for the Ramp and Clamp side, but it can't hurt to ever get any more money, and Hugs and Slugs goes down. He was not able to find Gandhi, who is only on 15 HP, but Brock, who has the op, seems to know that he is very hurt, and 1 USP shot to the foot.
What he was aiming at, but it just took 1 shot.
Yeah, he was aiming at the ground, and well, I guess a shot to the foot will still do it. He just happened to know the opponent's exact HP. That's why he was doing it.
Exactly. It was like he knew that the opponent was Achilles, so he had to shoot the heel because that's his only vulnerable spot.
Yep. Well, Achilles did eventually die, and it seems as though the hopes of a 16-0 also died in favor of Ramp and Clamp. 1 round for EgoPeek. They're on the board, and they still have double ops, so luckily they were able to maintain 2 ops in that previous round, and Ramp and Clamp still has a healthy buy. EgoPeek is going to need to win 3 rounds in a row before they can finally break the economy of Ramp and Clamp, so they're going to need to really buckle down and show their stuff here.
I like the spread right now on EgoPeek. I do kind of like the spread right now because they know someone's long, but they also aren't sure anything else.
That was so beautiful. Madsen threw the bomb right in front of Carbine, who was holding it with an op, and and he knew that there was a player there.
Gotta love timing strike.
Yep.
Timing strike, global offensive.
Yep. And it seems as though Ramp and Clamp wants to split towards A, and if they do, I think that this is to the benefit of EgoPeek. I mean, Running Free is on 1 HP on the B site, and the A site players have 3 healthy players, including an op. So this could all go in favor of Ramp and Clamp very quickly, but they're not aware that they're getting split. Carbine goes down on sight with them, not expecting him to be there at all, and Mr. Beef has to focus on a long player, and he goes down. I'm not sure what that was from EgoPeek.
They seemed almost so, like, just disorganized, because someone was lost. They should have someone was picked up in time, but they kind of just fell apart. They were all and weren't sure.
Oh, this Molotov could do wonders. He gets Molotoved out and he dies. That was so much damage beforehand. And it's a 2-on-1. They don't have a smoke. Yeah. What they do have is an op, and they do have a kit.
Time.
No. Oh, wait, they do have a kit. Unfortunately, the player who had the kit also had 1 HP, so... Wouldn't it be nice if you could drop your kit to your teammate?
Nah, Valve would never introduce something new like that.
You're right. They don't care about their player base.
Tough.
Yep. It's also tough. 1-7. EgoPeek is looking distraught. They don't really know what they're doing, it seems.
It's a very, very scattered buy from Ego.
Yeah,
I don't think I like that.
I don't either, because they're already out of utility, and they don't have a kit, and they're only, one of their only rifles peaks mid. So, I mean, I don't like this buy for a couple of reasons. One, I just didn't think it was a smart buy in general, but two, when you're losing 1-7, it's obviously showing that the other team is favorable to win the match. So how can you faithfully believe that you are going to win with deagles when you have yet to be able to win with rifles?
You can always turn around. Okay. That need to hurt. But you can always turn around. You never really know.
You can.
Just like that.
Yeah, that is a turnaround. I understand that you can turn around, but I mean, I think that it would be a little bit more favorable to give yourself better weaponry if you're struggling.
It is high risk, high reward, which is even more of a risk than it is the reward with this scattered buy.
Yeah.
And they should know it is definitely an A push now.
They do, and Carbine reloaded right next to his opponent.
Oh.
Damphy with a very nice double headshot spray down. Brock is the last player, but Damphy finds a third headshot. Very good, precise shooting.
Oh, no, not terrible in the favor of EgoPeek. They did reduce the economy by quite a bit.
They did. I mean, I talked about how many rounds they're going to have to win in a row, but instead what it seems like they're doing is just constantly whittling down their opponents, and Chias peaks mid with a AK. That's confidence.
True.
It's also called stupidity. I think that Rampant Clamp has looked very good up until this point, and I mean, I understand that they've won thus far due to just being better than their opponents. EgoPeek has looked very shoddy up to this point, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to continue winning if you do things like that.
I don't know if Rampant Clamp, like, I would say is just doing better. They're just way more organized. Like, looking at the players scattered right now, there's 2B, one, like, CT? And then there's one long A and one flank. It seems like Rampant Clamp is very confident in what they're doing and where they are. EgoPeek is kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and I think this, you're right, and I think it attributes it to the fact that EgoPeek is confident in their aim and their abilities, and so they would much rather take long-range duels like that and a lot more of those 1v1 duels because they think that it's going to work, but Rampant Clamp is trying to play the percentages game with more players. And Damphy hears these players pushing him up cat, and he's gonna play this headshot angle, and he's going to take one down, and it puts his teammate Gandhi into a trade position, running free, has the ability to take that kill, but unfortunately misses the shot. It is a difficult shot, but Gandhi is only down to 6 seconds. He is going to plant safe, though, so running free is going to have to respect it and into a one-on-one. And I believe these are the top fraggers for both teams. It is. Gandhi's on 16 kills and 4 deaths. He is looking very strong. Running free is at 9 and 9. And he does not really have the best weaponry for this retake, nor does he have a kit, and nor does he have armor.
He might be playing a little too slow for not having a kit.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a Molotov, so he's not able to really Molotov out this Gandalf position, and well, it's called Gandalf for a reason. You shall not pass the 1 round threshold.
Unfortunate.
Yep. See, I made a Star Wars...
What was it? Go ahead.
I made a Star Wars quote in the previous cast match, and you didn't get it. That one I knew you would get.
Facts. I get the general ones. I miss the ones that are a little more complicated.
Yeah, that Star Wars quote was a little bit specific.
We're playing up long on A. They should already have one more person kind of heading more toward mid with that presence B. Now they should have pulling back to A.
Yeah, I understand that you're struggling, but soloing long and dry peeking with a CZ is never the right answer. But it seems
just pushing up very far and getting like it just takes one person getting punished while they're pushing. They're playing it almost like it's an attacking side.
They really are. You know what? You're right. It does seem like they're acting as though they are the terrorists. And meanwhile, Rampant Clamp is playing it as though they're the counter-terrorists. Rampant Clamp, I don't think, made it to a bomb site in that round. And while that was a save round from EgoPeek, the fact that Rampant Clamp was able to win without making it to a bomb site is pretty problematic.
I agree. I feel there's only 2 players that have not really just been pushing things. And I've seen a lot of hugs and slugs kind of sitting on B. It's been doing pretty good holding the site. It's just you can't when it's a 1v3 a lot. Exactly. And running with that good mid presence, but
yeah, and that was an admirable spray transfer attempt, but a very difficult one at the same time. Talked about how Hugs and Slugs was that B anchor, and he immediately went down. He needed to try and take 1 kill before he did. That nade could have done substantial damage to the player on 34 HP and 5, but he missed the nade, and
I don't like this. Or them stacking doors just makes it a brawl. I don't know why. Why would you not send 2? Oh.
I don't know. I think it was because that was the fastest positioning, but it's not the right call just because it was the fastest call. Because they do have a kit this round. Moogie is Moogie's just gonna have a free kill to the side of the head.
Running pushed on site while the other person was already pulled back.
Yeah, Carbine already decided to save, and I don't even know if he's gonna be able to save. They're pushing him down, and he's gonna need to hit shot after shot just to survive, and he doesn't.
I think EgoPeek needs to call a timeout and take a breather.
I think so too. They've looked really flustered, and I think that they've made the wrong call numerous times, and I really don't like this. I wish that they called a timeout. I think you're right.
They've been hit through mid doors so many rounds. Why have they not smoked it and waited a second?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, because
Rampant Clamp just seems like they really know what they're doing. This team is someone who's very confident on Dust 2. I can absolutely tell. They really know how to take presence, and they're playing really slow, but they're playing pushed up halfway of the map. Like, look how the back half of the map is empty. The forward half of the map is in their control.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, EgoPeek is very quickly pushed back to sites, and I understand that they have inferior weaponry. I keep saying that, but it doesn't mean that you have to just fall back to site and let them push you back that far.
Yeah, they need players to stall, and they need players to anchor. Oh,
and they need players to not get one-tapped. I mean,
all in all, Rampant Clamp just seems like their aim is
dialed
right now. And I'm not even saying it's better than EgoPeek. It's just they're hot right now and they're feeling it, and I feel like they're just at that confidence. Sometimes it just happens. Like there's not even a whole lot that, like, I'd say EgoPeek is doing exactly wrong. It's just there's a lot that Rainbow Clamp is doing right for them.
Yeah, I mean, for all the stuff we said about EgoPeek and how much they can do, it doesn't really help if you get one tapped across the map like that.
Yeah. And, like, again, EgoPeek, I feel like, isn't necessarily playing wrong. Rampant Clamp is just playing very right. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people don't understand is it doesn't mean you're doing things bad when you lose. It just means that the other team is doing a lot right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that was wrong. And I think that this is also wrong.
Unfortunate. Like, you know the opera doesn't spawn and you peek it again.
That was okay. So I feel like they're just trying to prove you wrong. EgoPeek is like, nah, we could be stupid. This round, I don't know what was happening. I mean, they got the opening kill from running freeze op. I think that when you get the opening kill on Dust 2, you can fall back and play sites. Running freeze should have just gone back to B site, given up the mid position. They could have just watched Cat, watched B, and been okay with giving up mid. I mean, they got the opening kill. They didn't need to continue fighting, and all it resulted in was death after death in favor of EgoPeek. That was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, it was a 1v3 by the time bomb was planted, and it's too common to the thing. I think even, like, if they start to push B, that B player can 100%, if they just... Alright, well, first of all, that happened.
Yep.
But second of all, like, if they get... You can just give the site if you don't need to pull back, too. But, like, these... EgoPeek is so pushed up, and, like, they're just waiting for it. And unfortunately, there's the auto.
Yep.
Tilt factor is doubled.
Maybe quadrupled.
Oh, it's an auto and an op.
When just an auto isn't and an AK, there's also an AK in spawn.
Can't say they're not versatile.
Yeah, they can use anything. But yeah,
I don't know if EgoPeek's... I don't think they're necessarily playing this wrong. They're making some wrong decisions, I think, but they're not really playing this wrong. Rampant Clamp is just playing very good right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I understand that EgoPeek is doing some correct things, but I'm not trying to play the contrarian. But I think if you're down 13-1, you have to be doing something wrong.
I agree. There's wrong and right, and I hate mentioning wrong and right. Like right here, this is a very weird angle to hold bomb. First of all, it could work. So it could throw him off again. See how this plays out real quick.
It's just gonna give Gandhi the bomb. I think that this is played really well from Gandhi, other than the fact that he's got 15 seconds. He has to go A, and he didn't even pick up bomb. Brock just falls off and gives him sight. Oh, what the? But Gandhi gives him his life.
That was very smart from Brock.
I'm not exactly sure what Gandhi was planning right there. There was 10 seconds left, and he jumped off of Cat towards CT. There wasn't really much.
I don't think he could have made that in time.
Maybe.
I think he knew it was probably too late, and that Brock probably would have been holding sight pretty early. Interesting game so far.
Yeah, definitely.
See, I think that this game is one of those definitions of, sometimes you just gotta keep a little positivity.
Never mind. He's not positive. You're right, sometimes you do need positivity, and they don't have it. Well,
I don't think that they are happy.
I mean, would you be?
I mean, no, but I get it. There are games where sometimes things just don't go in your favor the whole game. Shit happens. I mean, you even see sometimes pro games end in just the worst way. And yeah, that's it.
That is unfortunate. Right, every pro team has probably been 16-0'd at some point in their career. So, EgoPeek needs to look at the positive. They're not getting 16-0'd. It might be 16-2'd, but that's infinitely better than 16-0. We'll see here, though. We're into the second half, onto the second half pistol round, and EgoPeek, unfortunately, at 2 rounds, but we'll see what they can do. Doubt they are out of it yet, even though this does look desperate and desolate for them. There's always hope.
If there's anything I do gotta say, though, running is very much turning up for this game. He is definitely showing up, and he's doing very well, especially with that mid control on the CT side. Carbine has picked it up in the second half. Everyone else kind of seems to be struggling quite a bit. I don't know if it is a mentality thing, if like they're just mentally defeated too, but they definitely seem to be struggling, and not a whole lot when that happens.
Yeah, and the issue here is just that they are in a very precarious situation, but they instantly turn it around. They seem to have some confidence executing onto this B site. Carbine takes 2 kills, as is running free. He finds 1, and those are the 2 players you just mentioned. They've seemed to look good this game, and they continue their form into the second half. It seems as though EgoPeek is looking for these 2 players to try and carry them through.
Both of them are pretty hurt, though.
They are. It seems like Brock on this P250 is going to have to try and do some work, especially with both these players coming through door. Brock, the aforementioned player, goes down, but running free and Carbine, the 2 players we mentioned, find all 5 kills for EgoPeek into that round, and the other 3 players we mentioned are struggling, but if Carbine and running free can keep them in this game, I imagine that the other 3 players will find their footing at some point and be able to get their bearings.
Let's hope it's not too late.
Let's hope. Oh, this is a very interesting call. Bomb is going towards A site. Meanwhile, the rest of their players are going towards B. Actually, Bomb is rotating all the way back B. This is a really good call because Ramp and Clamp have all 5 of their players towards this A site.
Here's the problem, though, and this is why I love that strat of holding a lot of people A long. They already know that it shouldn't be A site because they already holding back there. They did hear someone, which is really good. Whoever's lurking is doing a very good job at making them confused. Mr. B, thank you for going to auto-rector.
Yep.
But now they have throw B control. I think that lurk is what saved him that round, because without it, that player would have pushed.
Yeah, because he still did. And he does eventually find Mr. Beef, but I would say that this is too late. I understand that Rampant Clamp has been doing really well in this game, but EgoPeek would have to do something fundamentally wrong to lose this round, and I just don't see it happening. They do spot Brock, actually. I think that they spotted his side. They do, and they ding him down to 2. He's not going to be able to get out of there alive. The other 2 remaining players from Rampant Clamp are towards the CT position, so it's going to be very difficult for him to live. He's going to be exiting first. I'm very surprised on 2 HP, but he finds both kills. Yeah, he doesn't. He's saying, get the hell out of my way. He still goes down.
2 health and 2 kills.
Yep, but he did eventually go down to Bomb. Still looked good, though, from EgoPeek, and I agree with you. I think that lurk from Mr. Beef, throwing that little bit of utility, making that little bit of noise, Rampant Clamp was a little bit paranoid that they were waiting back for them, and they really weren't. Instead, they were taking the B site, and EgoPeek was just able to walk on for free because of it.
I don't think that was their intention. I think they were intending to save that whole round. They never wanted to win.
Yeah, they really didn't. EgoPeek is going fast up this cap position. The Xbox smoke will be fading somewhat soon, so they are hauling ass. They are just trying to get out as fast as they can. I'm wondering if they are just going to, wow, get naded down. Mr. Beef didn't even spot an enemy that round. He just got naded twice. Carbine finds the opening kill with the Mac 10 for EgoPeek, and he's going to keep going. Even with 6 HP, it doesn't matter. She goes down, yeah. Molotov goes up on Cat, and this player just runs through it. Matson, unsure of exactly what he's doing, but what he is doing is dying. That gives EgoPeek Cat possession. Really needed to wait until that Molotov went down. I understand he had some information, but Hugs and Slugs unfortunately dies on site without being able to do much. And they have a smoke and a kit. They're just going to be able to sit on this bomb, and EgoPeek is not going to be able to do anything about it. Brock goes down. That is a 14th round for Rampant Clamp. That was a little bit of a messy round from both sides.
Agree. That was very, very odd from both sides. There's a late push, which barely worked for Rampant Clamp. But also a really weird hold for Ego. Sorry, pardon the yawn. Of holding like cap, but they were playing up against the railing, allowing the person pushing CT to peek them when they were already out and pushed.
Yeah, and
oh
no, this is really unfortunate. Great counter utility comes out from Rampant Clamp, and an M4A1S is beautiful for spraying down through tunnels.
A buy round, wasn't it?
That it was.
Ego.
I mean, they are on no money, and unless Carbine and Hugs and Slugs do something miraculous, this is going to be 15 for Rampant Clamp, and there's going to be no money for the EgoPeek side. They fight this player mid, and Gandhi has no fear of fighting these two players, and I can see why. He comes out on top, and Damphy, what a nice shot onto Hugs and Slugs. This is looking dire for EgoPeek.
This is on the ropes, and it is a save round. I mean, it's as much as they can buy, but it's not going to be a whole lot.
Yeah, the only upgraded weapon that they have really is a scout. The rest of the players are on pistols, and oh no, this is not the right call. They are rushing long. I guess it's the right call. Mike makes a right. Brock hits a headshot. There are two players stuck blue box, and both of them are very hurt. Carbine is going to get Molotov off. He's eventually going to smoke himself off, but it doesn't matter. Chius has eyes that can spot through smoke and lies. Mr. Beef does find a headshot at long range with this Tech 9 Hugs and Slugs, a run and gun with the Deagle. He does not care.
Seems like Rampant Clamp are almost like doing really good corralling Ego into these positions and then just playing them really well.
Yeah.
Like that smoke on that corner and then being able to spray through.
Yeah, no, that was definitely really good. I mean, they were really forced into that position, pigeonholed, if you will. And
sorry,
we're dumb. Running free misses his Molotov. While doing that, gives away his position. But like I said, might makes right. It doesn't matter if you've got aim.
True.
If that were true, I feel like EgoPeek would have more than 5 rounds.
That's why the Bison's the best gun in the game. Don't at me.
I will at you.
It's rude.
But the fact that EgoPeek wins that round does not really matter. I mean, Rampant Clamp does have a better buy in terms of weaponry. EgoPeek has a Galil, and well, Rampant Clamp has 5 fully upgraded rifles, but it doesn't really matter. That was a questionable play from Mattson, to say the least. He pushed out mid without anything really happening, and Auto Director really just wants to further cement the fact that that was a stupid decision by the fact that it's still sitting on his dead body. It's not moving. Oh! Fully blind. Apparently Moogie gets a flash. I'm going to manually move to a different player.
I went to Daphne and did more on Director.
Yeah. Ooh, running free.
Wow,
Kills 2 players through. He sat in the smoke. I wasn't expecting a third player. That was a very decisive 16-5 victory in favor of Rampant Clamp.
That was a very good play at the end from running. Very smart. Just too many people sometimes, and
yep,
there it is.
Yeah, I think Rampant Clamp knew their stuff. EgoPeek knew a little bit less, and
I think it all came down to organization. Seems like Ego was a little bit scattered for a lot of the game, and I get they're trying to do map control. I don't think that's really how Dust works. It's not as much about map control as it is about like kind of stacking, kind of creating pressure against their push. It's not about full map control like other maps are. That's why a lot of people don't like Dust.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. There was a lot of times you saw there was one player A, one player B, one player mid, one player long, one player drifting somewhere, and I really don't think that that's the best course of action, is just having 5 players at 5 different positions. You saw a lot of times Ramp and Clamp had 2, 3, sometimes even 4 players in the same exact position, and what can you really do if you are one player at the long position against the entire team?
Rampant Clamp play as a team. EgoPeek again was kind of just playing as 5 players on the same map.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to say because I know they're good players. I know all of them are good players, but it just didn't play like a team at all. And I don't like saying it, but
No, you're right. They didn't. Well, enough about EgoPeek. Ramp and Clamp are the victors. They had a very decisive victory. I think that they looked phenomenal, I have to say. They looked like a team that knew exactly what they were doing on the map. They were in control the entire time. They put their foot on the gas from the very start and never let go.
They showed up. They knew what they were doing. They felt good with each other. They were always there to have each other's back. Very, very impressive from them.
Yes, I definitely have to agree. Well, that is the match. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm Biz.
I'm Sir Pigeon TV.
Thank you all so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, I just stopped recording, so if there's anybody in here